Prime Minister Narendra Modi has arrived in Singapore after having concluded his Brunei visit. The Indian diaspora gathered outside the Changi Airport in Singapore Airport and greeted the Prime Minister on his arrival. This visit is crucial as Singapore remains India's largest trading partner in ASEAN and the 6th largest globally. During Prime Minister's visit, there were several MoUs that are expected to be signed, particularly in sectors like semiconductors and chip manufacturing. The visit will also celebrate the 60th anniversary of the diplomatic relations between India and Singapore and the 10th year of their strategic partnership. Right, visuals on your screen. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi arriving at Changi Airport and now being escorted to meet the Prime Minister of Singapore. Also on the telecast with me, Azu, give us details now with regards to what is the schedule that has been set for the Prime Minister as he is going to now meet the head of the state of Singapore later today.
Well, Megha, yes, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has arrived at the Changi Airport for the 2 days official visit to Singapore. Marks an important occasion in strengthening the bilateral relation between India and Singapore. Also, he was greeted by the Indian diaspora in Singapore. Also, as we talked about his schedule, he has just arrived at the Changi Airport where he got a warm welcome, and after that he will get a community welcome at the Hotel Shangri-La, and then at around 4:15 he will attend the dinner hosted by the Singapore Prime Minister Lawrence Wong. So there will be a lot of bilateral meetings that will be held, and also in Singapore, Modi will hold a talk with the country's senior leadership, including President, Prime Minister Lawrence Wong, also with the senior ministers and the former Prime Minister. He will also meet business leaders in Singapore to explore potential areas of cooperation with India. According to the press release from the center, Modi's focus will be on advanced manufacturing, digitalization and sustainable development. Also, if we talk about the trade exchange with Singapore, Singapore is India's largest trade partner in Asia, with trade value reaching to $36.6 billion in 2023. To further boost foreign direct investment, India is encouraging Singaporean companies to invest in emerging sectors such as logistics, warehousing and commercial real estate. And ahead of the Prime Minister was about to reach Singapore, there was a company which has announced that they will increase investment in India. So this is the target, that there should be increase in investment in India, and the result has started coming. Yes,
okay. All right. Thank you, Azu, for giving us those details. Ambassador Mahesh Sachdev also on the telecast with me. Ambassador Sachdev, how do you view now, there has been for the last 1 year a lot of diplomatic visits that have taken place. It was External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar, who was also in one of the ASEAN nations, Laos. There has been this look east, act east policy that the government of India has been very actively pursuing and implementing by way of trade deals, by way of bilateral relations that are now increasing. How is this going to impact India's association with the ASEAN nations in the eastern part of Asia?
Thank you, Megha. This is an important visit. ASEAN nations are often called tiger nations because they have marshaled their resources manpower wise or natural resources wise, and had a rapid growth through after the Vietnam War ended in '75, and to reach a substantially high standard of living. Singapore is a prime example. It's a small city state, tightly governed, and it has punched much above its weight economically, in services, and as a hub for technical aspects, tech companies, etc., etc. It has a investor-friendly ambience. More Indian shippers, for example, fly Singaporean registration than in India itself. More companies put their offices in Singapore. Most Indian international agreements between companies have Singapore as the site for arbitration in case something goes wrong. and all those things are there. I think the visit is very significant in terms of the priorities of the Modi 3 government, sprucing up the growth rate, getting more investments, kick-starting the positive investment cycle. I think Singapore being conduit for the largest investment in India, FDI-wise, Singapore's cumulative FDI into India is about $160 billion. And even in the last financial year, it had invested around $11.8 billion
Right.
in India. So
Right.
all that can be further spruced up. There are also some negative issues which one should mention in perspective. I think the trade deal between India and Singapore, SECA, Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, signed in 2004, has underdelivered from Indian perspective. Singapore has been tardy in carrying out its commitments on natural persons, for example, from India, allowing them access and setting up companies such as lawyers, engineers, and so on in that country. There have also been trade distortions. With the third-party exports to Singapore are redirected to India after a change of rules of origin. And these are the issues that have some repercussions with Indian companies and Indian personnel
Right.
crying foul. So all that would be there. Singapore's bias against Indians, that needs to be taken care of.
Okay.
It is slowly vanishing. Initially, they differentiated between Indian Indians and Singaporean Indians. Singaporean Indians were treated much worse than Indians who were supposed to be educated and who were supposed to be well versed in IT and new skills that Singapore needed. But then that differential is slowly going away.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.